Right, so it's been about 4 or 5 weeks since I last recorded a video. This is episode 2. The rust that we patched in episode 1 has bled through a bit. Probably need to change the paint that I'm using. It's galvanisation needs 2 coats. I only put 1 on there, so that's probably the problem. But in this episode we're going to be working on the front corner of the car over there, and see if I can do anything. First we'll be taking the fender off, so I'll take you down there in a moment. Right, so I know I just said we're going to be working on that front bumper over there, but currently I don't know what the car's doing when I put the engine on. If you can see anything currently missing, you'd be right if you said gauge cluster or turny dials, or just, yeah, you'd be right if you said anything corresponding to that. But I just thought put this bit in the video because more content means more views, right? So watch me struggle and put this in, because the video is probably going to be about 3 hours worth of footage to get in one 25-minute segment. And, as you know, I've watched many videos and reviewed the manual that the kind people at I don't even know what you call them. The kind people at the people who put the car instructions together. I can't remember what they're called. None of them seem to have helped me in any way, shape or form. So I decided to just try my best. So I ended up pulling this off here. This will come off, there you go. So you pull that off, then you take these 2 bolts out and you take this little cartridge out here, and the little cartridge is, you know, it's just the what directs the air, and just behind it there's literally just there's just a hole where the air comes through from the fan, but you can push the gauge cluster out, the corner of the gauge cluster out from there. So I thought, oh well, I'll try that. It appeared to work, so there you are. But I believe one of these have snapped here, because that won't go down. But anyway, this should be an easy job, but I am saying should, so it might not be. Currently it's being an easy job. So that's in. Oh, and everything's lit up. Brilliant. So I'll see if I can get you a better view here. I'll just do some handheld motion, shall I? Best way to give you a view. Oh, lovely. Right, so here, oh look, hello. So everything's lit up on a display here. I'm just going to turn the ignition on. SRS, looking good. All the lights are on. ABS. What's happening here? There should be another light here, I think. Should there? Well, I've wiggled them all, and now I don't care anymore. So, there you are. I'm not going to bother starting it, that's just told me exactly what I need to do. Hello again. Go ahead, put this on here. Nice. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's about right. So, basically, the way to get this in was literally just to wrestle it. There wasn't any beauty of it, it was just see if you can get it in, and somehow I managed to. So I think, there you go, we're all in. Ish. Oh, there you go. Yeah. a big wrestling match with the clips. You see, and it all sounds as if you're going to break it, but you're just not, because obviously it's never been took out in its life, so all these things probably mean something. But I'm just going to go ahead and assume that I'm not currently trying to break it, or nearly breaking it. So this gauge cluster is hard enough trying to get it out, but trying to get it in by the looks of it seems like a harder option. So, save that. See, I can still push that out there and you shouldn't be able to. So I'm going to see if I can get this corner in. There you go, that corner's in. And see if I can push this one in. There you go, that's in. There you are. Give everything one final push, make sure it's all clipped. And there you go. Surprisingly, I didn't get any gunk on the glass, which is nice. So I'll come back into handheld and I'll just show you that it's definitely in and that I'm not dreaming. Because when you're working on cars, sometimes you like to dream because nothing ever goes your way. So, let's see. Is it an easy job? There it is. Everything's lit up. I need to set that time. I'll set that time in a minute. But there you go. Everything's lit up. SRS came on. Done. Job finito. 136,000 mile on the clock. Look at that. Brilliant. See you on the fender. Right, so the other side of this fender has seen better days, but it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to get a spanner on these and see if I can take the whole fender off itself, and it might just make the job easier because there's plenty of holes in this. So I'm just going to see if it's going to be easier taking it off, then that might solve the problem. So alright, I'm going to go ahead and find a spanner. Okay. So, just attempting to take the lights out here. I don't think I need to take the seal off these. I think it would just unscrew, but the key is, where do you unscrew it from? Let's not push all them down, shall we? Oh, that's gone forever. So this here lifts. Just the whole thing needs to lift up and off, but I don't know how it does that. Right, so I've virtually tortured this car to let me know its secrets. I've dropped one of these down there and that's gone forever, so I've taken all the bolts out up here, got a stuck screw out from there, and currently I did the most painful job, which was, there was two bolts here. There was one there which you can't really see, and one there which you can see the hole for There. That's the hole for it. That was the most painful. I was stuck down there with these pliers here and the 10mm spanner and all the bits I've had to take off trying to get to this. And hopefully that there is the last bolt. So I shall get back to you when I've removed that and hopefully removed the front fender. Right. That was much less of a pain than I thought it would be. But nice to see the back of it. It's not actually too bad because that's not rust, that's just the stuff off the trees. Now this here, I thought that was rust, but it might not be, or it might be just rust feeding through. That's definitely rust there, but that can be sorted. So I'm going to start working on that fender, and I'll bring you back when I've done some work on it. I've just been slowly chipping away here at, you know, lovely. All this, it's all like a protective rubber undercoat, but if you get some gaps in it, obviously the rust goes behind it and it's an absolute pain to get off it. So here's where I've sanded here. You can see some big rust spots there. That nearly gone, really. Obviously the underside is much worse, as you can see there, but if the back side here, which is looking pretty good, is still relatively solid and you can't poke a hole into it, then it should be good. This here looking a bit flimsy, but we'll keep looking. Might be able to replicate this design and weld a new bit on. Then of course sand the weld down, repaint it, get it all nice and dolled up. All of this round here, you know, all needs to be a wire weld. All the rust needs to come off. I can treat it, but if I manage to get all of the rust off, you don't need to treat it. So a bit like not these here, these still got rust behind them, so I would need to treat them. But this bit here, like the clean bits, and this bit here, you know, they're all bits there that don't need doing because there's literally no rust on them, so you can just paint straight over them, as long as there's no contaminants on it. So you're going to make sure that it's clean before, of course, you put any on it. So I'll give you another update when I'm a bit further through the process. Right, okay, so where we last left off last night is I cleaned all this up here. I have no idea whether if it's overexposed or not. Sun's out, it's cloudy, but you got most of this horrible rust here off. But big thing I'm trying to work on is try and get this as clean as possible here, and of course the underside as clean as possible there. But that is considerably better than what it did look like. This here obviously is still a bit worse for there, but it's still intact. This here might be a bit flimsy, but it's still there. All this here is fine. That's fine there, that's just surface rust. But this here, that's surprisingly still intact. I've went along with the screwdriver and I've hit it, and it seems pretty solid all the way along here, so that's good. Although that doesn't really matter because that isn't really shown. But you've got here, this bit here, this used to be like that, so there was a diagonal there, and that's just been eaten. I don't even know what that used to look like there, but oh well, I shall get to work again. Right, so back again, update. I've got, probably should have set it up, but I'm not professional, so you're going to have to deal with this. I've got the rust off there, used Dremel with the sander tool on it, so that's saved a lot of my job. All that around there is now finished. Of course this outer bit isn't here. I'm going to put some finish, not finish, rust, whatever you call it, on that. And then all this down here, that's all going to be rust remover, that's what you call it, rust remover. I'm just going to dash that round there and then leave it, because I don't need to sand that off on this side of the panel. All the rust around the screw holes, all gone, especially that one was bad. But got 2 more to do here. That's the rust done. You've got little bits of rust on this side of the panel still to do, but it's coming up quite well. I'll just set you up and show you what I do with the Dremel with these little bits here. It's just quite simple, but some people might want to know. Right, so on this bit here, literally all I do is just make sure, like, you can't see the rust so much on this. All I just is make sure that it's just all clean round here, a bit like these ones here that you can't see. But I thought I'd broke it, but it just kicked off the metal there, so it's alright. So there you go, that's literally all I do to make sure that that's just all clean around there, and then it gets all the rust off, if there is any under the paint, of course. But because there's a bolt there that's going to get tightened and this, that and the other, and it scrapes slightly a bit of the paint off, and over the years it eventually develops rust there, and then problems come. So just get it off now, paint it over, and then it's not going to give you any more problems. So I'll come round here and I'll just show you this one. And there you go, that's the same concept. And I'll do that on the other sides, but the other side's harder to look at because, well, not so much on this piece, but on all of the bottom bits. All of these bits here, they're all harder because they're all on the other side of that paint. So I can't really see them bits. I've got these bits here to do, but first I have to sort of take the screwdriver, which is what I was doing, and pry the plastic bits out, which first of all I didn't realise were plastic, so I ended up with a load of problems. Right, after officially calling myself deaf, I've finally finished. Well, not the whole panel obviously, but this very specific bit, which is nice. Still got a bit of the back to do. Obviously this whole inner bit is to be done, but that is still pretty good. There you go. So, see if that fits now. But, just remember, you can always cut bits off. Just can't add them back on again. So, go on this here. I've bent it slightly, but that there fits, but with a slight bend, so all I'll do is just put it on the edge of the concrete here and then slight bend. It might have been too much. See? Right, okay, so the camera's purposely dark for a reason, because if you haven't ever right, okay, so the camera is purposely dark for a reason. The reason being is if you have any more than 0 light going into the camera when you're welding, you can damage the sensor, so I'd rather not do that. Right, there you go. So that is exactly what we wanted. And now we can do just a little bit more bending here. Try and get this done. So I'm going to quench that metal there with the gun. I've only got this end on this air compressor. As long as you can touch it like that and it doesn't burn you, that's good enough. Right, so I just paused that video there just to check the footage, make sure that it wasn't blinding the sensor, but it seems alright. So I'll continue. Right, so I'm going to try and get all 4 of these corners here as best as I can in there and spot welded in. So there you go. So that's there. Sometimes it's a bit harder to see holes, so I'll do that little bit there. Right. So there you go. I have a manual wire brush somewhere, but I've got this one on here, so I might as well use this. I want to keep it as clear as possible at all times. Just saves that when you want to weld, obviously you don't want contaminants onto the surface. So I can touch this bit, but that bit's still quite hot. So I'll give it a quench. Right, there you go. So now, try and bend this here. Right, okay, there you go. That's now able to be welded and messed about with now. So, that's all we have to push there. That welder right there, that is the push to there. Right, after I'd just finished welding here, the camera's SD card filled, so I couldn't record anymore, and it had just stopped recording halfway through the welding. So fast forward to the next day, where I've got charged batteries and a new SD card in the camera. Batteries are charged, put a new card on the camera. It's just a bit windy today, but hopefully the dead cat on the mic has solved that. Coated all this in the rust stuff yesterday after I was doing it. Obviously I didn't get much of that on video because the storage ended up being full on my camera. So this is all the back side here. I'm just going to be leaving this because there's no point really sanding it off if you're not going to see it. So I'll just coat over that with galvanisation paint. Then that protects it all doubly. This front bit here, all of this will get sanded, so that I can put body filler on it and then done. So I went ahead to use the Dremel, just took all the edges off here, and now that's pretty good, ready for these bits. That's how it looks. So we'll have to get all that black stuff in between them two there, which I've done pretty good of a job of doing. This is all done here. I've just gone on the edges there where the light goes.